Hello, so I can here show you the Dream 1990 coloring right here, based on a coloring that I went ahead and did on a photograph. Talking about whenever I was much younger, that you would that whenever you would draw like a sketch, or it could be a trace a sketch, or it could be a coloring of something that you remember whenever you were much younger. Is that you got right here is a coloring of me on a swing, but basically the details that I added to it are basically, as far as I can remember, is whenever I looked at the old photographs that my parents kept around, and then along with the fact is that you have it to where you got the camera right here. Is you got the camera is that my dad would my parents would videotape me on a swing, or it could have been in the backyard walking around, and then it could have been walking around in the house, but you have it to where that with the camcorder is that the type of toys that you would see is that based on is that you would find out that with the toys that say such as related to a camcorder, that with the way my parents would videotape me is that I would be walk around out in the yard. Is that you get the photograph right here of me, and then on right here you get that me is like with the birthday cake, and along with me sitting, but which most of those videotapes I don't even have anymore, but basically is the fact is that with the video camera is that with my parents, my parents would I remember they rented a camcorder back in the early 1900s it is, but basically is that you have it to where you get the camcorder right here, and my dad would videotape me, and I remember that what I sound like is like, yeah, Dad, come here. And I was telling him that talk about something that I would want him to buy for the family or whatever it is. And I remember one time that he would, I would ask him, hey Dad, I think you should buy one of those for the family. And then it's like he kept the camera pointed towards me, and I'm like, Daddy, yes, but look over here. Then he would look at the other direction. I want you to buy one of those for the family. But you have it to where is that he would record me and walking around and stuff, and I remember that part of the details about the videos, but basically is that one thing I was just wondering is about so far with Dream 1990 is that the fact is that my parents could not afford those toys, such as a camcorder, is that of course they could afford a pair of glasses, because I needed them so to be able to see. But so far as the camcorder goes, but so far as the detail about the sky right here is what the camcorder and the cameras can do, so far as adding details to, so as editing the picture, or could be the photograph, but I was like one of the very first ones, so far as that part of the family is, so far as the ones I was raised by, is that the family members is that to buy a camera, and I was always wondering about the fact about I want to look through the camera, and I think one of the reasons was so far as for Dream 1990 is that the fact about it is like what the viewpoint, what the back behind the scene look like, behind the scene part look like, and basically you should say is the behind the scene could be like so far as the other details, so far as the rest of the picture goes. The rest of the picture is that whenever you're whenever you're doing some type of activity, it could be something related to it's something related to behind the curtain, or whatever you call it, is behind the curtain scenes. But basically is that is you have it to where that see here, add just a little bit the color right here. You got this will be around the springtime, and then add a little bit say a blue mix right here. But basically, I think it is that that I wanted to look through the camera just to kind of see what it was like, to know what the through the camera view would be like. And of course, with the camera right here, is that that well, it's like with the camera that you can see when what you're looking at and stuff, and of course back then they were larger, much larger. They say that they probably that they were probably between about maybe a foot length and width, something like that, but weighed about 5 to 10 pounds. But anyway, you got the backyard scene right here. And then as far as I remember, is that I remember whenever I was a kid that I would record, I would be swinging. I would remind my dad. It's like so far with when I guess I had that habit of remind him of you spilt the beer on I spilt the beer that he put the somehow he put a beer can on the swing, and then I wound up spilling it, or whatever you call it. I used to say that I had the habit of spilling his beer. If he were to put it somewhere, he would be worried that I would dump it over whatever it was, or it could be stepping into getting my shoes all dirty, whatever it is. But so far as for Dream 1990, is the fact about it is that whatever our dreams are is so far is making the making your memories, such as you say, is making it realistic, is so far as making it into like a good set, say a good work of art. But so far with young pictures of me, it's like the young pictures of me, and so far was like got the baby the birthday cake along the baby bibs. It's like, and then along with me on the swing. So far with Dream 1990 is the year that it was taken. The year that it was taken, as well as the year whenever I got the toy. the year whenever I got the toy was around the time the year that I had gotten my first job. And of course that first job more likely is could have been something related to it's like great work for great education. But so far with Dream 1990 and Dream 1990 Color.